Hi, in this video we will learn how to update the values, field values of a model object. This is a little bit different than the direct value assignment to a field. In this case, in these examples that we will be doing in a few minutes later, we will be either incrementing or decrementing a field value, or appending or removing a value from a basic value list, or we will be unsetting the value, the field value of a model object. For this purpose, let's create a new application called wall posts. This will be very similar to, we will be having email and password authentication, which will automatically create the user model and also login, logout, and sign up services endpoints. This application will be very similar to like an Instagram wall post, right? You get an image, like a photo, and under the photo you get a caption for that thing. And for that caption, you might have some comments or likes to that post and so on. So we will be trying to create a backend for that wall post. The first thing we will be doing is, let's go to the user management. This is the user object. This looks fine. Let's create an environment actually. Let's create an environment called development. And let's deploy our snapshot, the existing one, the master snapshot, to the user object. And what we will also do, we will be adding a new endpoint called get all users, because this endpoint is not provided by default from the template that we have used. It will be path users, and the rooted service will be a new service called get all users. Okay, if I go to this service, this will be quite easy. It will be running get multi objects by query. It will be running on the users model, and as a response we will return back the retrieved users objects. Okay, that's it. So let's go to the environment. Let's go to test panel, and first let's add some users. Okay, so if I go to the user management, sign up new user, this is the service we will be using. It's john@email.com. The password for John will be 123456. The name will be John. Profile picture, for the moment we will keep it empty. Let's run this thing. Okay, so the first user, we have created the first user. Second one, Mary. Created the second one. That's the third one, Jane. Let's put it Jane. Okay, and this is the third user. Let me pin this thing. Let's go to the new service that we designed. Let's run this thing. This will return the list of the users. We've got John, Mary, and Jane, all created in the database. Let's assume that John has uploaded a profile picture. Okay, let's upload a profile picture. There's already a default endpoint for this one, which comes from the template that we selected. Let's assume that John is updating his profile and he's uploading a profile picture. Okay, let's go to desktop, images, this one. Okay, and what's the ID? We need to actually we don't need to provide the ID of this one. We need to provide the session token. Okay, if I go back to here, I lost the session of that one, so let me go back here. Okay, this one again, it requires a session. Fine, I will be doing something like this. Let's go to the login one. Okay, we will be logging in john@email.com, and the password for John was 123456. Let's get the session token. To pin this thing. Yeah, this is the session token for John. Okay, and if I go to all the users, yeah, I get that one. Then I will be updating the profile picture, right? This is the session token. Whenever we have the session token, we know that which user we will be updating. This is the updating. This is the file. Let's update this thing. So we set the profile picture for John. If I get all the users again, okay, as you can see, you got the profile picture of John updated. Let's assume the following. for some reason, John wanted to remove the profile picture. Okay, he doesn't want anyone anymore want to show the profile picture in his profile. How we will be doing it? Let's create a new service, endpoint actually. Let's service remove profile picture. Okay, this will be a get method. This will be users. Let's assume that we will be getting the user ID for this case. We will not be working on the session stuff. Remove profile image. Okay, let's put it okay, the root service will be new service remove profile image picture, and that's our new service. So what we will be doing is the following. There's a node we will be using, that one, update object fields by ID. Okay, we will be updating a user's object. What's the ID of the user? It will be coming from the path parameters user ID. Which field we will be updating? We will be updating the profile picture. Okay, what we will be doing, we will be unsetting the value. Okay, we will be unsetting the profile picture value. Then let's return response. This will be returning the updated user object. Okay, let's run this thing. This is the remove profile picture, and if I go to the users, this is the ID of John. Okay, I need to put here the John's ID here. If I run this thing, it removed the profile picture, unset it. So if I run this again, I should not have this entry here. As you can see, the profile picture has been removed, unset. So this is the first example for setting and unsetting, let's say field values. Okay, it's the first one. Let's assume, okay, let's go to our data model. Let's assume we've got a new model called posts. Okay, this is the wall posts. Let's enable the timestamp for this one. Let's enable the standards, endpoints, and services. What do we have for the post? This is a wall post. Let's assume that we've got a caption for this wall post. You might also have like a picture, right? We might also have a picture for this wall post. Let's put here the URL of the picture. Okay. The caption will be required fields, but we don't need to have the picture. That is optional basically. Then we will have a object reference user ID who is creating this post wall post, and this will be pointing to a user. Okay, that's it actually right now. That's all we need for the post. Let's create a new post. If I go to here, okay, and if I look to the post one, there is the create new post. This is the post. Let me change the path of this one actually. I will do something like this. Users, then user ID. I know that this user is posting something. Okay, let's update this one. Then if I go to this service here, it's getting the body, which is basically the body of the request. Then we will be creating that stuff in the database. Yes, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, it's all fine. Actually, I realized that I don't need the user ID parts because it's already provided in the input, so I can remove this thing. That's fine. That's all fine. Okay, let's go to the task panel. Let's create a new post. What's the post name? Let's say, hey, good morning everyone, hope all is well. We will not provide a picture for now. Okay, and who is posting, who's making this post? Let's assume that this post is made by John. Okay, John has created this post. Let's run this thing. Okay, we have created the first post for John. Okay, if I run this get all posts, I can see that there will be only one post. This is created by John. Okay, so let's assume so people can like or dislike this post. Okay, so what we will be doing is the following. We will be creating a new field here. Let's put an integer field, likes count. Okay, we will be counting how many people like this post. This is the likes count, and the default value for this thing will be 0, no like counts initially. Okay, and we will creating a new endpoint called like a wall post. Then this will be post. Let's put it posts. Then there will be the post ID. Okay, and we will be liking that one. So create a new post like a wall post. It's a new service for us, like a wall post. Okay, so this will be getting as an input parameter the wall post ID. Okay, what we will be doing is the following actually. On the database, update object fields by ID. Okay, what we will be updating? We will be updating the posts, one of the post object. Which object we will be updating? This is coming from the IDs, post ID. Which field we will be updating? We will be updating the likes count, and what we will be doing? We will be incrementing its value. Okay, we will be incrementing its value by 1. Then as a final step, we will be returning a response for the updated wall post. Okay. Let's go back to here. This is the post like. This is the new endpoint that we defined. This is the list of the post. The ID of the post that we will be liking is this one. This one, the one that John has posted. This will be the ID of that post. And if you can run the like one, as you can see, the like count is now 1. If I retrieve everything, like count is 1. If I run this thing again, it will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically, every time it's incrementing the like count. If you run this service, of course, I mean you need to make a logical check whether somebody has already liked the post. If somebody has already liked the post, then you should not increment the like count because he or she already liked it. So another version of this one is the decrement version, right? We can also decrement it. Like a wall post, we can say that remove post like, remove like from a post. Okay, let me copy this thing. Again, we can put here posts, post ID, remove like, then the service will be a new service, remove like from a post. If you can create it, then go to the service. It's again very similar to what we have done, update object fields but ID. Let's move this thing to here. This is a post. Object ID is coming from the endpoint path, URL path. And what we'll be doing, we will be likes count. What we'll be doing, we will be decrementing it by 1. Okay? And as a response, we will be returning a response, success response. Okay. Let's go back to here. This is the remove like. This is the new service we have. Okay, this is our post ID, this one. Then if I come here, what's the current count right now? 6, it should be 5, okay? Yep, as you can see, it's 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, okay? So this is how you increment and decrement values. You might wonder, there are some additional values here like the increment, unset is obviously similar to the previous example. It removes that field from the object. Set is basic assignment, okay, like it's assigning a value. It's not increment, decrement, directly overriding the value of it. Min, max, if you assign a value here, it gets the minimum value, okay? So for example, in the database currently you might have a value of, let's say, 90, then you put here a mean of 80. If you provide 80, then it will use the value of 80 and assign it to the database. But if you provided 100, the smallest value is in the database, so it will not be updating. Okay, it will continue to use the value of 90. The other case is the maximum. Multiply, as its name implies, it multiplies the value stored in the database with the value provided in here. That's the other case. Okay, so those are the increment, decrement, min, max, multiply, and unset cases. What else we can have? There's another option. There's another thing that you can do with field values. Let's assume that the users also have. Let's assume the users also have a, let's say, hobbies field. Okay, this is a list of text values. We keep the list of hobbies or interests. People. Let's put it in the hobbies, maybe like interests. Okay, interest for the people. What we can do is the following actually. We can create a new endpoint here at interest. Okay, this will be a put method. Users. Let's assume that we've got the user ID coming here, and let's put here at interest. At interest. This is a new service we are doing right now. If I go back to here, again the same node we will be using, update object fields by ID. In this case we will be updating a user in the database. The object ID is coming from the endpoint path parameter, user ID, and which field we will be updating? We will be updating the interests. And what we will be doing? We will be appending an interest, and the interest is coming as a, let's assume that it's a interest is a query string parameter. Okay, and what we will be doing is that we will be getting the interest from the query string parameter, edit, then return back the updated object. Okay, so let's test this thing. This is the new one at interest. This is the, and let's get the list of the users. This is the list of the users. Let's get, in this case, let's use Jane. Okay, let's add an interest for Jane, and as a query string parameter, let's put here, she is interested in music. As you can see, it's already added a value here. If I get all users, music, right? Let's add another interest here, movies. It appended another value. Okay, it added another value. And let's movies, let's say travel. She also likes to travel. Yeah, the third one. Okay. Similarly, what you can do is that you can append a value, remove a value if it exists in the interest category, or you can remove the first one, remove the last one, or unset or set directly. Okay, so that's how the field value updates work for different field types. I hope that this was helpful. Thanks a lot for watching.